Hi, this is John of Trish and John's Gardening Channel. Today is April 7th, 2015. It's day 58 or so from the day we first propagated our pepper plants. We wanted to give you a quick update as to where we are, and show you our progress. The three that you see here in the shot, these are the Anaheim Peppers. Again, we got those from Baker Creek Seed Company. Doing quite well. These are now 6 inches tall, from the soil. 6.5 inches or so to the top of the plant. I'll show you in a minute some of the things in detail of what these plants look like. But that is the three Anaheims. Again, they're doing really well, in my estimation, anyways. The next three here, to show you that, those are the Chinese 5-color peppers, again from Baker Creek. Try and get you a better shot. These are a little bit shorter than the Anaheims, but still doing quite well. All three of them just about the same size, and I'm very happy with their progress. Okay, so moving over, we wanted to show you the last three pepper plants here that we're growing. These are the red mini bell peppers, again from Baker Creek. These three are a little bit further behind again than the first 6 that we showed you, especially this one on the right. We had an issue where that pot did not propagate, so we had reseeded that a week or so, maybe a week and a half behind the others. So I'm not surprised that one is behind. We're going to be potting this one up later today and topping the plant as we did all of these other plants that you see here. Again, these aren't doing too bad. This one, again, if you look back in our videos, there was one plant of the red mini bells that I called funky at that time. It kind of has remained so, kind of a little bit scraggly. I'm going to live with this plant. I'm not going to do anything to discard it, but it is a little bit different, I'll say, than the other pepper plants, the way it looks. But I'm sure it'll do just fine. So let me get a closer shot. I wanted to show you some of the things. I mentioned topping the one on the right today. We did top the other 8 plants just about 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks from my memory serves me right. So let me get a close-up here, and I wanted to show you exactly what topping the plant does and what it's done for us on the plants here. So just let me stop the film and we'll get you close up. Okay, so here we are. We've got a close-up shot of one of the Anaheim peppers, and again, what we wanted to show you today was the progress of topping this plant. We went ahead and took the main stem when it was about this tall, and we cut the main stem. Now what you'll see here, hopefully you can see that in the shot, this little stem here, that was actually the main stem. This would have been coming straight off this trunk, this main trunk, and would have head straight up. And if we let this plant go without topping it, we would have had one straight stem generally that came up, and that stem would probably be 8 inches tall, maybe even more at this point. But what we did was, again, we cut that main stem, and by doing so, we forced, if you would see here, these 2 stems. These are actually, like, if you would call them on tomato plants, suckers, if you will. But they've taken over as 2 main stems instead of this 1 main stem. So they branched off. These are doing, as you can see, very nicely here. We're happy with the progress. And if I look down here as well, some offshoots even lower. I may do some pruning here, like these 2 leaves. I'm not real happy with this offshoot. I'll probably prune that back, probably leave him, but really happy with this progress. Again, what this does is it creates more of a bush-like plant rather than one plant that would just continue straight up and it'd be less likely to branch out. We're creating more stems, more avenues for fruit to develop, a bushier plant. We're also, if you look at this main stem, this nearly doubled in size from where it was a couple weeks ago when we first topped it. So looking really good, and we're happy with the progress. We may top it again. We may go ahead. Let me just readjust this here a little bit. Once these get a little bit taller, I'm probably going to go ahead and top this branch and this branch, and again promote growth here. We'll get more growth, actually not here. The growth will be up here between, let me show you, this main stem and this leaf, you'll get some shoots. And I will get 4 main stems off of these 2. And again, when we do that, it once again strengthens or beefs up the main stem. So every time we cut and trim, we double the amount of offshoots that we're going to get, and we beef up the main stem, which is making it a stronger plant and just a more healthier and more productive plant. One other thing let me mention here, once we put this in the ground, if you look at my other videos, here's where the cotyledons were. Again, I'm not sure if you could see that, but these 2 little nodes here where the cotyledons were, I had buried this in the last pot up from, the 3.5-inch pot here to the 5-inch net pot. We had buried it just up to about to the cotyledons. They've since fallen off. When we pot this in the ground outside, I may go ahead and bury it all the way up to the first set of leaves here. Maybe not that high, maybe halfway, but again, burying it a little bit deeper, similar to what we do on tomatoes. Not as aggressive as what we would do on tomatoes, but again, getting the main stem buried, and that helps promote root growth out of the side stem, the main stem. And I have one other thing I wanted to kind of show you guys. Let me stop the film. I've got a question for you, and something that's been happening generally with the Anaheims, kind of interesting. I've never seen it before, and I just wanted to kind of pass this question by. So again, let me stop the film, I'll reset, and I'll pose my question. Okay, here we have another one of the Anaheims that we're growing. Again, let me just show you real quick on this one. Hopefully you can see that. This main stem, or this was the main stem here. Again, you can see we just chopped that off. This would be growing straight up. By cutting that, we promoted growth between the main stem here and this leaf. This is doing quite well. We've also got growth here between this leaf and this main stem. And we've actually got another one. There was another leaf up here in the back. So we've actually got 3 main stems, actually a 4th. Let me turn this around. A 4th back here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stems, offshoots that we've generated just by cutting that one main stem. So I love doing that. It really, if you look down here, we've also got growth even lower. Probably going to trim some of these back, some of this lower growth, but just by cutting that one main stem, you really promote a lot of other growth on the plant, which, it's a little bit of a setback to the plant. You lose maybe 1 or 2 weeks in production or growth, but you make, more than make up for that in what the plant is going to produce. And, it's only been 2 weeks, and you can see here, plant has survived and thrived on using that method. So let me show you this one thing here. If I turn the plant around, again, it's a question for you guys as to, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that here, hopefully you can, but this leaf here is kind of turning over. Now, during the day, this will turn over and actually almost completely be inverted. And I've noticed that particularly on the Anaheims and particularly on the lower leaves, these will turn over. Yesterday, these 2 were actually completely inverted. They've kind of recovered a little bit, but I noticed this one here, again, or even these 2, you could see kind of halfway inverted. But I'm just wondering if anyone could tell me why that would be happening. And I've never seen that before in peppers. Is it the light? Is it something I'm doing with the fertilizer? Is it just a phenomenon with the way these plants grow? I've never grown these Anaheims before. So maybe it has to do with this particular variety of pepper. I'm not sure. So again, if anyone sees this and knows what this might be, if you could comment on the video, that would be really helpful. I'd be very curious to see what that is. I'm going to try and do a search online to see if I could find it, but so far I haven't been able to identify that. Maybe it's nothing. I don't think it's a big deal, but I guess I'm more curious than anything else. So anyways, I think that's it for today. We're going to be giving you another update on the peppers probably in another couple weeks. We are going to be getting an update on our tomatoes. We've got some good luck and some good growth on our tomatoes. There'll be a separate video that we'll be posting for the tomatoes and other videos that we're working on, such as the grafting series that we're working on. We've got some news and some update on where we are with our Maxifort rootstock seed propagation, and kind of moving forward with that technique. So again, that's it for today. Just wanted to give you a quick update again on our peppers. Again, if anyone can address the leaf curl or whatever you want to call this, I'd appreciate some comments.